Soccer fans all around the world, aficionados del fútbol, this is the tournament where two worlds collide. Leagues Cup 2024. We have 18 teams from the Liga MX versus the extensive list of all the teams in the MLS, totaling up to 49 teams in this amazing summer tournament where the MLS pauses, the Liga MX pauses for one entire month, and we get this beautiful, beautiful, entertaining tournament full of goals, full of excitement, full of rivalry. The rivalry that feeds our egos, the rivalry that keeps the conversations online going, the rivalry between US and Mexico. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I'm Mexican American and I grew up watching Liga MX my entire life. I've been watching the MLS grow for several years and didn't really get into it until just a couple years ago. I've been collecting data, and if you guys saw my previous video for the round 1 predictions, I created my match simulator and combined the data that I've been collecting for the MLS 2024 season and the data from the Liga MX 2024 games, which gives us a clausura and the beginning of the apertura, averaging out to just about the same amount of games between both leagues. Either way, we have a match simulator that we are going to use, a very advanced match simulator, to help us predict the goals, win probabilities, goal scoring opportunities, as also the over 1.5 and both teams to score. We have 15 matches to go over, but before we go over them, one last thing. I also want to talk about how excited I am for the MLS teams. They did really well in the first 3 days competing against teams from the Liga MX. They haven't been the best teams that represent the Liga MX, but MLS has been taking those W's or causing some sort of upset in the sport books. Last year, if you were betting for the Liga MX teams to win or outscore these teams, you probably made a lot of money, and if you tried to follow that trend in this one, you've probably lost a lot of money. Let's go over to the first game of the 15 matches that we'll be going over. Excuse me. The first match is San Luis versus Montreal in Canada. San Luis are the favorites to win this match, outscoring Montreal. Expected goals is 1.9 versus 1.7, and the win probability is 42 and 35. The over 1.5 is 86%, and both teams to score is 69%. Very high probabilities that these results can hit. I am in favor of seeing an over 1.5 if you want to throw that into a parlay. A 2-2, a 1-1, a 2-0, anything above 2 goals and or actually anything 2 goals and more, you win the bet. I definitely see both teams to score. San Luis has the attacking strength. Montreal has the attacking strength, and they both have leaky defenses. Moving on to the next match, Pachuca versus New York Red Bulls in New Jersey. Pachuca is slightly less favorite than New York Red Bulls. We see there that the expected goals is 1.5 to 1.4 in favor of New York Red Bulls. The win probability is 41 to 33, also in favor to New York Red Bulls. Over 1.5 is 78%, and both teams to score is 58%. This match is harder to gauge because Pachuca, although they are the reigning CONCACAF Champions Cup champions, they haven't had a great start to their apertura. They lost a couple of key players, and yes, they still have Idrissi, they still have Rondon that both played in the MLS All-Star game. But New York Red Bulls in the East Coast, in the Eastern Conference, have one of the best attacking strength and defensive strength. They're very consistent. So I would give the edge to New York Red Bulls and agree with my match simulator. The over 1.5 may be a little bit harder. I think Red Bulls should be winning 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, maybe even 3-2. Either way, New York Red Bulls win this match. Match number 3 is Minnesota versus Necaxa. Two really entertaining teams. And, Minnesota United is a little bit unpredictable, and Necaxa has been surprising a lot of teams in the Liga MX. Necaxa has been able to pull positive results, maybe taking the draw, maybe even winning a match versus really tough teams, and they are continuing that in the past 4 games of the Apertura. Expected goals is 1.6 to 1.8 in favor of Necaxa, and so is the win probability, 42% versus 34% for Minnesota. The over 1.5 is 84%, and both teams to score is 66%. I think this is another one for sure that we can see the over 1.5. Again, a 1-1, 2-0, and you won the bet. Maybe parlay that with the over 1.5 for Montreal. And if you want to get a little bit more aggressive with your bet, I'd do a New York Red Bulls double chance. That'd be a solid 3-legged parlay. Match 4, Monterrey versus Austin FC. Austin FC pulled an upset, in my opinion, versus Pumas on Friday, I believe. Either way, Monterrey is much better than Austin FC, even though Pumas does have the better trend. They've played a little bit better in the past recent games. But Monterrey has the quality, they have the budget, they have really good talent, really good players to make a difference in this type of tournament. They have a really good coaching staff. As far as Austin SC, they have a very leaky defense, as we all saw, 3-2 versus Pumas, and they can score. However, Monterrey is no Pumas. Monterrey does have a better keeper. They do have a better defense. Expected goals for this is 1.7 for Monterrey, 0.9 for Austin. Monterrey are the favorites to win, 55% to 20%, and the over 1.5 is 73%. Both teams to score, 48%. Match number 5 is LAFC versus Vancouver Whitecaps, 2 teams from the Western Conference of the MLS. LAFC just beat Tijuana 3-0 very comfortably, and Vancouver just lost a friendly versus Wrexham, very entertaining friendly. However, in terms of strength and balance, LAFC, if they wrap this game up and take the W, the 3 points, they basically can enjoy the last match and let Vancouver and Tijuana fight it out to see who takes the next spot of the table. Expected goals is 2.0, 1.4 for Vancouver Whitecaps. LAFC are the favorites to win, 49% to 27%. The over 1.5 is 83% and 64% for both teams to score. Great odds there. Charlotte FC versus Cruz Azul. A very even game. I'm gonna tell you right now, Cruz Azul has one of the best defensive strengths out of the 49 teams that are in this tournament. Cruz Azul is a really strong team. They are pretty okay offensively. They have really talented players. They just played the final of the Liga MX Clausura tournament against Club America. Charlotte FC at home are strong defensively. They're a team that can hold the 0-0 the entire game and maybe sneak in a goal or two every now and then. Not as strong offensively. So with 2 teams that are very defensive, I don't predict this being a high-scoring game, although you never know. These 2 teams have a lot to play for. It's an entertaining tournament. You just never know. That's the beauty of soccer, football, that it's so unpredictable. The expected goals for this is 0.5 for Charlotte, 1.1 for Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul are the favorites to win, 49% to 18. The over 1.5 is 48% and 28% for both teams to score. Very low odds there. Maybe Cruz Azul wins it 1-0, maybe 2-0 if there's an accident there, or Cruz Azul are cheeky and can get a nice extra goal there. Two defensive teams. We'll see what happens. You just never know. Match 7 is Santos versus DC United. A Santos squad that has been slightly disappointing me because they seem to have the best offensive players, the gems of Mexico, in my opinion. Some of the best offensive players that are up and coming are in the Santos squad, and they're not clicking, man. They're not clicking. Oh well. But they're playing against DC United at DC United's home. Can Santos do something? I mean, it'd be nice to see this game go goal to goal to goal to goal, because Santos has a horrible defense. Expected goals is 1.0 for Santos, 1.6 for DC United. DC United are the favorites to win this match based off the data that we've collected, 49% to 18%. The over 1.5 is 73% and 50% for both teams to score. I'll be happy with Santos causing an upset on this one. I'd love to see these youth players click and get something right. All right, the next set of matches. FC Dallas hosting Juarez. FC Dallas expected goals 1.7, 1.2 for Juarez. Win probability is 46% to 29% for Juarez. Over 1.5 is 78%, and both teams to score is 57. Juarez has some interesting players. They play very offensive, and Dallas is a great team. They've been having really good trend, really good results in the past couple of games. Juarez, they'll be used to the heat. I don't think the Dallas Heat would be much of an X factor for them. We'll see how the game plays out. I'll stay hands off on this one, but we got match 9, Nashville versus Mazatlan. Very even game. 1.3 expected goals for Nashville, 1.1 for Mazatlan, with the win probability being 41% for Nashville, 31% for Mazatlan. The over 1.5 is 68%, and both teams to score 48%. I definitely see both teams to score on this one. I'll be honest. Mazatlan, I believe, lost their first game against New England. They didn't look so good, but they have to do something. They have to go for it. They're a team that plays offensively no matter what. And just knowing how New England has been playing, the results, that 1-0 win versus Mazatlan is huge for them. Huge, because they've been very disappointing this season. Nashville, another team that has been disappointing this season. They played the final, I believe, last year, and just for them not to be able to do something positive in this tournament after their great run last year. They have great players, maybe not the best players, but I think the quality of their players are pretty much on par to Mazatlan, so be interesting to see this one. I think both teams will score on this one despite what this says. Match 10 is a Liga MX mashup here between Tigres and Puebla. Tigres is expected to win 3 to 0.8. The win probability is 73% for Tigres, 7% for Puebla. They've just been horrible. They lost really bad against Inter Miami last week, and the over 1.5 for this match is 81%. Basically, Tigres will carry the result and get you that over 1.5 there. I'd say both teams to score in Mazatlan versus Nashville, and the over 1.5 goals between Tigres and Puebla. Again, a 2-0, 1-1, and you win that leg, and both teams to score on Mazatlan. Nashville would be a great pick. Both teams to score for Tigres Puebla is 47%. Not the odds you want to see. And then, excuse the dog barking. Match 11, San Jose Earthquakes versus LA Galaxy. Can the Galaxy take another can they continue to embarrass my San Jose Earthquakes team at home one more time this season? Jesus, can they? I mean, on paper it says that they will. Expected goals is 1.1 for Earthquakes, 3.0 for LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy are the favorites to win. 67% to 11% for the Earthquakes. Over 1.5 is 83%, and both teams to score is 58%. Both teams to score between these two teams have been really good. Has been hitting. I don't think it's hit at all this year, but prior to 2024, it's almost guaranteed that both teams to score in this match. San Jose Earthquakes has a lot to play in for. This is their second game. They got the positive result versus Chivas, pulled an upset in my opinion. Chivas should have won, but Earthquakes did what they did and they almost got the 3 points. So against LA Galaxy, they have to play smart. They have to hold them down a little bit, and LA Galaxy will have to fight it off and earn their spot in the last game versus Chivas. I think both teams score in this match easily, and if you want to play it safe, the over 1.5, let's just say LA Galaxy blows them out the water. There it is. You win the bet on that. Match 12, is FC Cincinnati versus Querétaro. Cincinnati is the second place in the Eastern Conference in the MLS. Querétaro is a very weak team, a team that pretty much averages a goal per game and receives about a goal per game. So what do we expect in this match? We see FC Cincinnati expected goals 1.6 versus 1.0 for Querétaro. Win probability is 51% for Cincinnati, 24% for Querétaro. The over 1.5 is 72% and 50% for both teams to score. I say this. I don't know what to say about this game. I'd say if Luciano Acosta comes out playing really well and does what he does best, we're going to see a very entertaining game. I'd say even a huge win for Cincinnati. Or we get an upset, a 0-1 upset, and Querétaro wins the game. They maybe go to PKs. This is one of those where you got to be careful, right? You got to be careful and just sometimes enjoy the games, enjoy watching them. This game right here is one that I'll definitely enjoy to watch. Is Real Salt Lake, one of my favorite teams in the Western Conference, playing Atlas, an Atlas squad that beat Houston. They beat Houston. I didn't expect that. But I did say they have one of the best goalkeepers in all of South America and Northern America. Their keeper, Camilo Vargas, just played the Copa America final. Was part of the Colombian team, and he's just been awesome. So I'm sure he had a busy day against Houston, and he will have another busy evening versus Real Salt Lake at home. Expected goals is 2.2 for Real Salt Lake, 1.1 for Atlas. Win probability is 58% for Real Salt Lake, 19% for Atlas, with the over 1.5 at 82%, and both teams to score 59%. Tough one to call. I'd say my gut, and based off all the data I've collected, Real Salt Lake is a team that can run laps on Atlas. However, Atlas is just one of those teams, much like Querétaro, that will just make a very boring game just so they can get, the result, and they can just make it really boring for us viewers. Anyways, be careful on that one. Toluca versus Chicago FC. Toluca are the favorites to win this. 65% win probability versus 14% for Chicago. The expected goals is 2.4 for Toluca and Chicago 1.0. Over 1.5 is 81%, and both teams to score is 54%. This is a game that I absolutely believe Chicago will lose very, very bad. Very bad. Toluca are looking good. Toluca last year did really good. And Chicago FC's just been a very poor team. I think if I was part of the Chicago FC squad, not the squad, but the staff, I'd be finding a way to just sort of neutralize Toluca, sort of parking the bus, and just hope that we can keep the score 0-0 and maybe get a goal off a PK, a set piece. But if the game goes the way, if Chicago goes out there and tries to compete fairly without trying to park the bus like I believe Atlas or Querétaro will do, Toluca will destroy Chicago FC, without a doubt. I'd probably go with Toluca minus 1.5. That means they have to win by 2 goals or more. That would just be a very fun bet for me to, like if I were to bet, that'd be very fun. Portland Timbers versus Colorado Rapids. Expected goals 2.2 for Portland, 2.1 for Colorado. The win probability is very even, 39% for Portland, 36% for Colorado. The over 1.5 is 88% and 74% for both teams to score. Another interesting game. Colorado is a team that can score a lot of games. Portland is getting there. They're scoring goals. They're receiving goals. Both teams can score. Both teams concede. I can see this happening for sure. A winner? I wouldn't pick a winner. I'd just go with the over 1.5. Put that in a parlay somewhere and just take the money. Take the money that you can get. There you have it. These are my round 2 Leagues Cup 2024 predictions, projections using my match simulator. If you guys want, or if you guys have any questions of how this works, what data I've collected to make this happen, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you have any results that you don't agree with what we're discussing here. I'd love to read them. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your week and take a shot for your boy. I'll see you all at the San Jose Earthquakes versus LA Galaxy game if anyone's going. See you there. Peace.